I'm here. It is Monday, November 3rd, in the dystopian year 2025. I have returned. I'm okay. I think I'm becoming a little bit disillusioned. Do you know that word? It's a good word. You can learn that word since I'm experiencing that feeling. Yeah, disillusioned. This doesn't feel as fun anymore. This doesn't feel, I don't know. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing here anymore. And it doesn't feel like I'm making progress anymore. So I don't know. I've lost my sense of magic for what I do here. I think that's one thing I realized this past week is I feel a bit lost. But that's normal, you know? It happens to everyone. I get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. That's normal. You know? I get tired of answering the same questions. I get tired of impatient people. I get tired of the feeling that everybody wants their answers now. Nobody really wants to talk or connect. Everybody just wants something now. You know? Whatever they need now. So, I don't know. That's not that fun. You know? It's fun for a little bit, but then it doesn't become fun anymore. So, I don't know. I have to figure out what I'm doing here. Hello, Leo and Noe and everyone. Don't you wish that this was something more? You know, don't you wish that this wasn't the same thing all the time? Don't you wish that there was some way for this to be more? I don't know. Yeah. I need something more, because this just doesn't feel... Yeah. It feels directionless, kind of purposeless and directionless. And once again, I really have no support whatsoever. I don't have any help from anyone including Hello Talk. They don't do anything for me anymore. Nothing. They kind of ignore me for the most part anymore. So, yeah. So talk. How about that? How about that? This is kind of what I'm talking about. Here I am, and I'm a human, and I'm talking, and now this is where you're supposed to talk also. Where, see, I talk, and then you talk. That's how that works. But many times I come here, and I say things, and nobody says anything, and there's no talking, and it's just... you give a question, and I give an answer, and you give a question, and I give an answer, and you give a question, and I give an answer, and... that's... not very magical. It's the first time you see me talking like this, you feel genuinely bad for it. Well, again, like I said, I just don't know why I'm doing this anymore. I don't make any money at all. I spent a lot of money on it, and it's not really going anywhere. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing anymore. Yeah. Does drinking too much coffee affect sleep? For some people, I'm sure it does. I don't think it does for me, but for some people, I think, yeah, sure. Waste a lot of money. I don't think I said waste. I said spent. Well, maybe I did say waste. I mean, I've spent a lot of money on becoming a live streamer, you know? Equipment and my website and all kind. I've spent a lot of money in the last 5 years becoming a live streamer. Yeah. Anyway. Your boss's name is Mark. The boss of Alibaba is also named Mark. Yeah, Ben, Mark is a very, very common name. So, yeah, there are many Marks. Mark Zuckerberg, another one. It's a very common name. Hello, Vicky. Thank you very much. Thank you for the gifts. Yeah, so, like the gifts, there's a perfect example. Like, I don't beg for gifts because I don't want to be that kind of person. I really don't like that. I hate this whole, please give me money, please give me gifts. But, I spend a lot of time and effort and, work here, and I don't get a lot. So, for example, last month, how much money do you think I got paid for all of the streaming I did last month? How much money do you think I earned in tips? Do you know? It was about $20. 20. 20. Yeah. $20. Yeah, for $20, I can go to McDonald's. You know? So, yeah. Anyway. I'm adding so much value in your lives by teaching the things you don't know. Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad some people feel that way. But I don't know. I wish that this weren't true, but it is true when I say I'm glad that I add value to your lives. I'm glad that you appreciate what I do. I'm glad that you think it's helpful. But it's hard for me to do it so much for so little. It's hard for me to do it so much for so little. So what do you do? So why do you do it if it's a waste of time? Well, I do it because I love to teach. I do it because I do like to help people. And I do it because I was hoping that it would become something more. You know, I was hoping it would become something I could build and do more with. You know, I was hoping that I could have my own little business as a teacher. But it's just not working out. It's just not working out. So Bruce said I can do live streams on multiple platforms at the same time. I just need more phones, right? So again, I know that. I'm on YouTube right now. And yeah, I could do TikTok or Twitch or all these other ones. But for what? For what? It's a whole lot of work. And not a lot of, reward. It's a whole lot of work and not a lot of reward. But that's teaching. Teaching is that way. Can I please tell you the difference in context between the words change, replace, and swap? Is it right to say, for instance, swap languages? If you said swap languages, I would assume that you mean exchange languages, like I teach you and you teach me, right? So swap would be okay for that one. Replace and change have a different meaning. To replace something means to take away the thing that you have and put in something new and different. Okay? To replace. Okay? So think of the word replace. Re means again, place. So think about it like to place it again someplace else. Right? I'm going to replace it. Okay? Change has many meanings, but in this case, it would mean to do a different one, right? So swap means I give you one and you give me one. We swap, right? Or I help you and you help me. That's swapping, okay? Replacing is a little different, and changing is but much wider. Yeah. Christina says, but you do it awesome. How do you others get money from being streamers? Yeah, so Christina, yeah, I suck at business. I'm not good at business, and I don't really want to be good at business. I mean, I want to be successful in what I do, but I don't know, it's hard to explain. You have to do a lot of stuff that is just really, you have to have advertising, you have to get advertisers, you have to make a lot of videos and content and do editing, and you have to put it on multiple platforms. And I spend all day just doing social media, I have to put it on this platform, then I have to put it on that platform, then I have to put it on this platform, then you have to make this video, then you have to put it on there, then you have to reply to comments over here, then you have to reply to comments over here, then you have to do a stream over here. It's really sick, to be honest. Vicky says you can try to be a one-on-one teacher. Vicky, I am a one-on-one teacher, but no one wants to buy my lessons. And I will not lower my prices. I'm not going to do that because I can't afford to. And it's so funny that people can't understand that. Anyway. Mind explaining the differences between opinion and non-opinion essays and their formation? Okay, non-opinion essays are essays written strictly from a factual basis. Only facts, not opinions. Opinions are just how you feel about something. It has nothing to do with the actual facts. So, it's like a report on a cheetah should tell you about cheetahs. It should not say anything like, I like cheetahs because they're so cute. That's an opinion. I like cheetahs because they're fast. That's an opinion. They are fast, but that's an opinion. If you just say cheetahs are the world's fastest land animal, that is a factual, non-opinion-based statement. But if you say, I think that they're the fastest animal, that is an opinion. Okay, I think they're cutest, they're the cutest, they're the most awesome, I think they're the best, I like them because, those are all opinions. Okay? Ivan, I did see your post, I replied to you, I said thank you, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay? Zoe, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I'm here. I am whining and complaining. I'm sorry. It's just, it's, hey, I'm a human, and everybody wants to feel good about what they do, and sometimes I don't. Oh, my stomach. I need to eat something. Am I going to teach today? See, Kelsey? Now that makes me feel like you only care about you. And that's also not fun. You know, when you show up on camera and it ends up feeling like people just want to take something from you, that doesn't feel good. I'm here. If you have questions, ask me, and I will answer them, because I'm unable to not answer them. So Bruce is talking about, I know you don't want to do it, but you could get more money from help if you update the equipment and the teaching tools. So Bruce, I have the nicest equipment that you can have, almost. Maybe not the nicest, but almost the nicest equipment that you can have to do live streaming. Okay? I could buy a much, much more expensive camera, but I don't really want to, and I don't necessarily see why I need to, because I'm not that pretty. So, who cares what I look like, really? But equipment and teaching tools are not the reasons why I'm not making money. That's not the reason why. Yeah. Anyway, it's just hard to do everything by yourself. That's all. It's just hard to do things by yourself. That's it. That's all, guys. Now, I'll stop complaining. Let's move on. All right? I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the comments. Forget that I was bitching and moaning. I'm here to answer your questions. So, proceed. Hello, Calsum. Long time no see. Good to see you again. Thank you. I can work with some Chinese language training companies. They can help you get more students in China to promote your online lessons. If someone would like to give me those contacts, great. If someone would like to tell someone about me, great. But I have not had luck with that yet. And that's the other thing. So Lillian's saying, how can you buy lessons? Well, I spent a lot of money building a website that doesn't work in China now. It did when it first started, now it doesn't, and so now it's pointless. I spent all this money on this website, and almost all of my students are Chinese, and none of them can use my website, so it's like... It's maddening. I want to kill my website. I know the price outside the USA is expensive, but this is the US. This is the world. This is the way it works. Okay? Everything here is expensive. You have no idea. Okay? The other day, I had to buy a vegetable tray to take to a little party, right? So we went to the grocery store to buy a vegetable tray. And it's just some vegetables and fruit and a little... Oh no, they didn't even have dip. It was just vegetables and fruit. That's all. Just cut pieces of vegetables and fruit on a tray. $22. $22 for some vegetables cut up on a tray. Yeah. You joined for more than 4,000 days just like you and still active. You wonder how did I know this platform. Bruce, I found HelloTalk by chance just because I was looking for apps to help me learn Chinese at the time. So 12 years ago, I was looking for apps to help me learn Chinese and learn languages, and I found it. That's all. I just happened to find it. You checked my website, the price is already good enough. I don't need to lower it. I know, I think so too, but many, 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 many people tell me it's too expensive. Thank you, Romana. I appreciate that. You want me to pronounce the letter D. D. If you want to pronounce the letter D, make the position, the mouth position of E. E is like when you're smiling. So it's smile. E, 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 right? That's the E position. So, make the E position and then D, 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 da, 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 D, 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 da, 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 D, D, D. Okay? You can understand what I say. Do I often use simple English words? Yes. 我常常说用好简单的英文，因为比较多人可以听得懂我说什么。是对吗？ Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I think you understand. How can you improve yourself in writing? I don't know. What's your problem? I don't know what that means. How can I improve my writing? What's the problem with your writing? How can I improve my driving? You've never seen me drive. You don't know if I'm a good driver or I'm a bad driver. You don't know what the problem is. So how can you give me good advice? You can't. The question is too big. Think of a better question. You want to recognize your English level. The easiest way to find your English level now would be to use DeepSeek or ChatGPT. Talk to DeepSeek, talk to ChatGPT. Either talk or type. Typing, I think, is fine. But type a lot. You need to type like 5,000 words or 10,000 words. Right? So you need to talk to it about who you are and what you like to do for fun and where you've traveled to and what your goals and your dreams are and where did you go to school, and write as much as you can about yourself or write as much as you can about something. You know, have a conversation with ChatGPT about amusement parks or about sports. It doesn't matter, but choose a topic and write something for 5,000 to 10,000 words. If you do that, then you can ask ChatGPT, what's my level? If you wrote enough, it can probably give you a pretty good assessment of your level. It can tell you, are you B1, B2, C1, C2, A1, A2. All right? But you have to write enough. If you only write 100 words, it's not enough. You have to write at least 5,000 words. Okay? Yeah, life is hard. I know, but I also feel like a dummy because here I am complaining about my life, and I know that life is much harder for many other people. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still hard in a different way here. one moment, please. Let me check something. Strange. How much are my one-on-one classes? One-on-one classes, if you buy only one class, or if you buy less than 8, I think. You have to buy more than 8 for a discount, I think, if I remember right. But if you buy one lesson, it's $20 for 30 minutes or $40 for 60 minutes. Okay? If you buy a package of lessons, like 8 or 12, that's what most people do, then each lesson is only $15 per half an hour. That's the price. All right? Thank you very much, Rosie. Look, I appreciate all the compliments, everybody. I really do. I mean, I love teaching. There's no doubt about that. I love teaching. It's just that it's a lot of work for a very little reward. Yeah, so Leo, yeah, I don't know how to solve the problem of the Chinese web wall anymore. It's a pain in my butt, and I don't think there's a lot I can do about it. You feel like you have a good level of English, but when it comes to politics, you feel it's all Greek to me. Right, politics is really hard. That's a very advanced level of discussion in any language. So it's normal to be, like, I can't discuss politics in Chinese. That's too hard for me too. That doesn't mean my Chinese is terrible. It just means that that requires a lot of vocabulary that you probably don't have enough of yet. Hello, Huang. Yep. You have a question. Recently, you've been practicing speaking English by e-podcasts and shadowing them. Is it a good method? It can be a good method if you are listening to people who speak well. If the podcaster really speaks well and uses good English, proper English, then yes, it can be great. If you're listening to somebody who doesn't speak well and makes a lot of mistakes and isn't careful with their language, then you will learn to not be careful. You will learn to make a lot of mistakes. You will learn their mistakes. So you have to choose who you listen to, who you follow well. Choose well. Okay? See, it's weird. See, Lily says the website works for her, but many people it doesn't work. So I don't know. It's too much of a headache. It's such a headache. Hello, Norman. How are you? Oh, that's very nice of you, Norman. And Eric, you're very kind as well. Thank you very much, Eric. You work 7 hours and you just get $400? That's a lot of money. That's a lot more than I make right now. You're getting $57 an hour. At $400, 7 hours, that's $57 an hour, about. That's a lot. Thank you, Kalsum. Thank you. Yeah, again, guys, I'm sorry. Look, I'm not trying to bitch and moan. I'm not trying to complain. I just don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like, come on. Everybody needs to feel like they know why they're doing this, right? So I need to feel like this is going somewhere. I need to feel like this is getting me something at some point. I mean, that's normal, right? Isn't that kind of normal? Right? But I've been doing this for a long time, and it just doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do anymore. It's a lot of work for one person. It's a lot of work for one person. So, and I've tried to get help. I've tried for 5 years. I've tried to get people to help me consistently, but I can't. They just don't. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, wah, 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 wah. That is life. C'est la vie. That is the sound of c'est la vie. What's the difference between smug and arrogant? They're about the same. A smug person is an arrogant person who is boldly arrogant. Right? So you can be arrogant without a smile. But if you're arrogant and you smile about it, like if you say, I'm much better than you, that's smug. So it's one thing to just say, I'm much better than you. That's arrogant. But to say it with a smile on your face, that's smug. Okay? Is it possible that native speakers make mistakes as they are talking? Of course it is. Does everyone in Iran speak with perfect grammar all the time? Does everyone in Iran speak with perfect language all the time? I don't think so. No country does. No language does. So, yeah. Many, many, many native speakers make mistakes. I make mistakes. Maybe not that often, but I do make mistakes. And thank you, Leo. Thank you, Jaja. I appreciate the support. I guess I'm just, like I said, I'm feeling disillusioned today. Maybe disillusioned and disheartened. Maybe that's a better term for it. Disheartened. Would video editing services contribute to my mission? Yeah, probably. But I don't have any money to pay someone to do that for me. It's a lot of work. Diego, if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see hundreds of videos, and each one is 2 or 3 hours long. And they're completely unedited, just like this one is today. That's what I do. All of my videos are live like this, and they're uploaded to YouTube immediately after I'm done. It's on YouTube as well now. So, that would be a huge, huge, huge task for someone. And it would be hard. It would be a very difficult task also, because either you would have to guess what the best parts are of the videos to make your own cuts. You would have to guess, you know, like just make your own idea of what's the best videos to cut for me. Or I would have to go watch each one, every single video, and then make notes about which minutes are best. That's also requires a lot of time. That requires a lot of time. I'm just not good at this. You can't be good at everything in life. You can't be good at everything. I'm a great teacher. I'm a very terrible businessman. I'm kind of proud of that, actually. I don't really want to be good at business, because being good at business means that you're good at selling something for more than it's worth. That's what good at business means. Nobody says you're good at business if you sell your product for the amount that it's actually worth. Right? If it's an even exchange, that's not good at business. Good at business means here's how much the product is worth and here's how much I'm going to sell it for. So, anyway. I should be flexible to change my ways. Yes, well. Yes, a slip of the tongue. Smug is hidden arrogance, not showy. No. Smug is the one that's showy. Smug is proud arrogance. Smug is not shy arrogance. No, smug is like, I'm going to smile while I tell you, I am so much better than you. This is smug arrogance, right? Being smug is a form of being arrogant. But if you just say, I'm better than you, that's arrogant, right? Probably. But if you say it with a big smile on your face, like you're so sure of yourself, that's smug. Okay? And it's a little bit condescending, too. Like you're looking down on them. Okay? There's an AI extension for Adobe Premiere that does it for me in seconds. Okay, but now I need to learn how to do that, and I need to know how to do that, and I need to take the time to go do that. Everyone is encouraging me as a best teacher. Why do I feel disillusioned? Because I've been doing this for 5 years on here. And I'm making the same amount of money now that I was making when I started. If you did something for 5 years, and for 5 years you didn't really see any real success, how would you feel? That's how I feel. Switch the domain. It's a little more complicated than that, lovely. It's a little more complicated than that. If I switch the domain and I go to, let's say, YouTube, and I just focus on YouTube, here's the problem with YouTube. YouTube is everybody. And really, there is no purpose to YouTube. YouTube has every purpose. And the problem with that is that now you have everybody watching what you do, even if they're not really interested in what you do. That's actually not a great thing. When you develop an audience, you want your audience to care about what you do. You want your audience to focus on they know who you are and what you do, and they like you for what you are. You do not want a bunch of people who don't really have a direct interest in what you do. It's complicated. It's hard to explain. But if you have 1 million people follow you, but they are not really interested in language learning, they're not really interested in what you do, then you're going to have a circus. You're going to have a circus. Every single day you'll have to deal with trolls. Every single day you'll have to deal with people who ask things that have nothing to do with you, and it's complicated. The reason why I stay here on Hello Talk is because this is a place where almost everybody is here for the same purpose. So I use Hello Talk as my platform of saying, well, this is a directed platform for learning. This is what I do here. Only learning and studying and talking about things like that. Anyway, I don't know. Let's I don't want to talk about this anymore. Okay? I appreciate that you have suggestions, but please understand, I'm not a stupid man. I have been doing this for 5 years. It's very likely that anything that you have thought of, any idea you have, I have already thought about it. I have already tried it. It's hard to do your own business by yourself. That's it. It's hard. Okay? It's hard. It wouldn't matter if you're a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer. When you decide to go do something by yourself with no company, no support, nobody else to help you, it's hard. Okay? So can we not talk about that anymore? I want to move on. Nobody wants to hear this anyway. Nobody cares. I mean, I don't want to say it that way, but nobody wants to hear me bitch and moan. Listen to the poor American. Next questions. Both arrogance and smugness can be condescending, but I think smugness is always condescending. Yeah, I guess arrogance would always be condescending generally too. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. What's the nuance between being conceited and arrogant? Let me think about that. One moment. So it's interesting. The word conceit is related to the word conceive. To conceive means to think about, right? To come up with, right? To create in your mind is to conceive something. Well, that's one form of it, the mental form of conception. So to be conceited means to think about yourself all the time and to think how great you are. Having a great opinion of yourself because you're thinking of yourself all the time. So conceited people, I feel like conceited people are also often vain. V-A-I-N. Vain, vanity. To have vanity means to think that you're so pretty, right? I'm so pretty. That's vain, right? So the difference between conceited and arrogance, let me check one more thing. Yeah, that's kind of the last thing I was going to say. Is conceitedness is more like an inward focus, an excessive pride on yourself. So it's like selfishness that's like an inward pride of selfishness, okay? But arrogance is the outward expression of that pride, okay? So conceit, to be conceited and to be arrogant, they're like two sides of the same coin. The conceited part is the internal part of you. You're conceited, right? But the arrogance is how a conceited person expresses themselves. Arrogantly, outwardly. Okay? Thank you, Ahmed. I appreciate the well wishes. Thank you. Do American kids go to cram school? Nope. No, they do not. No. Maybe 1% or maybe 0.1% go to cram schools. Thank you, Leo. You're too nice. Why did I ignore you? What did I ignore? I didn't see a message. Maybe I just didn't see it. There are a lot of messages. What did you say? I don't. How can you improve your writing skills? What's wrong with your writing? I can't tell you anything. If you just say, how do I improve my writing? I don't know what's wrong. What's the problem? That's too big of a question. You have to tell me what's wrong with your writing. Then I can tell you how to make it better. Okay. Right. To be conceited is pride in yourself. That's inward. To be arrogant is to be outwardly prideful. Thank you. Being vain and conceited are both mostly used about someone, like how pretty I am. Vanity is always about how you look. Conceited is not always about how you look. Conceited is about any quality of you that you think is better than everybody else. Okay? Cram school, C-R-A-M. Cram means to force something, right? I cram it in there. I'm going to cram my, I don't know, maybe I'm cramming my clothes into my drawer, right? I'm cramming them in, like you're pushing them in. So cram school is a school where you go to the school and they push information into your ears all day. They push more and more information into your ear. Yeah. Anyway. How can you improve your pronunciation skills? Again, it's hard for me to answer that because I don't know you. So I don't know what's wrong with your pronunciation. To learn pronunciation, you should learn it the same way we do. Phonics. 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 Do you know phonics? Have you learned phonics? Do you practice phonics. Phonics are just the pronunciations of the letters, right? So D, 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 da, da, da. C, 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 ka, 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 right? A, E, I, O, U, A, I, right? Ah, look, there's a B and there's an A. B, 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 ba, ba, ba. A, A, A. So it's either bay or ba. That's pronunciation. And you need to learn how to open your mouth properly. Every language has mouth movements. If you don't know how to move your mouth properly, you will not sound good. So when you learn pronunciation, you are learning mouth movements. Understand that. You need to think about how your mouth is moving, the position of your tongue, the position of your lips, the sound in your throat. Those are all part of pronunciation. Okay? Yes, Momo. How can I improve my writing skills? I don't know. What's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. Then I can tell you what you can do better. But please listen to me, everyone. If you meet a great teacher, let's say you meet a great teacher. I'm not saying I'm a great teacher. I am not saying that at all. But I am saying that if you meet a great teacher and you have one chance to ask a question, you only have one chance to ask a question, don't you think it's important to ask a good question? You should ask a question that's really good when you have the chance. So you should think about your question. And if you ask a question like, how can I be good at English? The answer will be, here's a book. Go read it. If you ask a question that requires a book to answer it, I'm going to give you a book. Okay? So, ask a specific question. You have a question? Please explain the word familiar and familiar with. Okay, and when to use. Familiar just means that you know something, you've seen it before, you recognize it. So that tree looks familiar. That means I think I recognize that tree. I think I've seen it before. Or I'm familiar with this program, with this software. Are you familiar with HelloTalk? Oh, I don't know HelloTalk. What is HelloTalk? Oh, you're not familiar with it. You don't know about it. If you know about something, you're familiar with it. If you don't know about something, you're not familiar. Okay? So, familiar with is often used to talk about things or people that you know about. Okay? Are you familiar with this president? Are you familiar with Barack Obama? Yeah, he was a U.S. president. You're familiar. Okay? Are you familiar with sports? Are you familiar with sports? I'm not very familiar with sports. In this case, it means, do I know about them? Okay? And used to, can you tell me, used to can have many, many different ways to say it or use it. Please show me a sentence that uses used to so I can see which way you want me to explain. So give me a sentence with context for used to, and then I'll explain how it works and what it means. You were watching a French musical play, Molière, yesterday. You can't understand turn on the phone flashlight when the play was at an end. You couldn't understand that? Okay, well, turn on your phone flashlight. Right? This is your phone. And they have a flashlight. This is the flashlight on your phone. Right? So, turn on your phone flashlight. That's what that means. If that's what you... I think that's what you're asking. She or it, which can be used for a cow. DK, that depends on you. In most cases, we will say it about cows. Because if I don't know, right? I don't know this cow, and it's just a cow. Oh, what's that cow doing? Oh, it's grazing. Okay? It's grazing. Most of the time, if we're talking about animals that we're unfamiliar with, a general animal, right? Then we use the term it. But maybe, what if this cow is your pet? Could be. You have a pet cow. If it's your pet, you'll probably say she. Because you're familiar with this animal. It's not just some cow, it's your cow. You're familiar with it, right? So, in this case, if you know the animal, then you might say she. Now, there are some people who will say she when talking about general animals, but they do it in like a poetic way. Like, she's a beautiful horse. You don't even know if it's a she, maybe. She's a beautiful animal. You don't even know. You're saying it like a poetic way of using the word she in that way. Okay? Like sometimes we say that about cars, right? You have a new car. It's a beautiful car. Somebody will say, oh, she's a beauty. The car now is a she. That's poetic. Okay? Okay, next question. Inexorable. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. So inexorable, the original meaning means unyielding, unrelenting. But wait a minute. There it is. So it basically means it means unyielding. So it's pretty much the same meaning as the original meaning, which in this case it means you don't give up. You don't. It's unrelenting. It so that's one form. One form would be to say it's unrelenting or unyielding. One moment. Let me check one more thing. Yeah, that's right. I just want to see. I thought there was maybe a secondary other way to use it, but not really. It basically still means unyielding, right? Unstoppable. A process that can't be prevented or can't be stopped, right? So if you say the doctors were inexorable, there was nothing that could be done. That means the doctors tried to do everything, but there's nothing they could do, right? Or the inexorable march of time. That's what we always talk about, the inexorable march of time. Time doesn't stop for anyone. Time continues on, right? So inexorable in this case means unstoppable. Thank you, Anna. Many Americans aren't used to seeing Chinese, huh? What do you mean, Lily? I'm not sure if to seeing. What, in what way? Edwin says, have we met before? You look familiar. Right. That means if you look familiar, you look like someone I've seen before. Right. Many Americans aren't used to seeing Chinese people with your features. One American said that to you? Okay. Maybe he needs to get out more. Momo. Okay, I'm going to give you an answer, Momo. But first, I want you to tell me, how are you practicing your English writing now? What do you do? Do you practice writing now? Do you do anything? The easiest way to practice your writing and improve your writing today is to use ChatGPT. Okay, look, I'm going to prove it to you. One moment. I can't type today. Okay, I'm gonna guess your level. I'm gonna say you're an A2 level, okay? And you are from, you're B2. Okay, well, we'll say B2 then. Okay, you're B2, and you're from what country? Is that from, is that Sudan or Chad? I can't remember what country that is. Is that Sudan? Sudan. Okay, from Sudan. Okay, now watch, Momo. This is a great goal, and at the B2 level, your student is right at the stage where her writing can move from functional to expressive and precise. Here's how I can help her improve step by step. Step 1, writing diagnosis. That means you need to write something so ChatGPT can see your writing and tell you what's wrong. Right? So there's step 1, there's step 2, there's step 3, there's step 4, there's step 5. Look, everything is right there for you. It will do all this for you. Okay? Now, if that's too high, maybe that's too hard for you. I think that might be a little too high for you for writing. So let's change this. Let's go back to B1 and just see what it says now. Writing development plan. Here's a 12-week writing program. Now, why didn't you do this? This is so easy. It's right here. It's done. Everything is right there. Look, they're even talking about thinking in English. Just like me. I wonder why they do that. Because they're copying me now. It knows my methods. Okay, so look, there. How easy was that? All I did was I asked ChatGPT. My student wants to improve her writing. How can you help her to improve her writing in English? You could say, can you help me improve my writing? And it will. Okay, Momo? All right? That was easy. That was easy. And you can do it. You can do this anytime. All right? I don't mean to be rude, Momo, but you need to understand that people ask me this question all the time. How can I be good in English? How can I improve my writing? How can I improve my blah, blah, blah? But if it's a question that's too big, then the answer is too big. So it's too hard for me to answer. Okay? It would require too much time. That's why big questions like that, that's a perfect thing for ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT the big questions. The small questions are the ones that you should think about for me. Okay? So when you're trying to improve your writing in a special way, a specific way, right? Then you can come ask me about how do I improve my storytelling? How do I improve my academic writing? How do I improve? Those are more specific questions. Okay? You're at the C1 level, but you feel like your ability isn't that high. Well, remember, everybody, that when you say you're at a C1 level or a B1 level, the truth is most people are a little bit of both, a little bit of everything, right? So, for example, maybe your reading level is around a B2 level, but your writing level is around a B1 level, and your speaking level is around a C1 level, right? So remember that the idea of A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, those apply to each skill. So what level of reading are you? A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, or C2? What level of listening are you? A1, C2, what? All right? Remember that. How can you know your level? There are many tests that you can take, okay? That's what those tests are for, to figure out your level. But the easiest way would be to talk to ChatGPT. But you must talk a lot. That's why I said, if you give ChatGPT 5,000 words or more, if you write at least 5,000 words, write a story, write an introduction about who you are, tell something about your goals, whatever. Just give it something that's 5,000 words or more. And then it can look at your writing and it will tell you your level. If you only write 100 words, that's not enough for it to be able to know your level. So you have to write a lot so it can know your level. And then you can try it again with speaking. You can speak a lot and then ask it to assess your speaking based on what you said. All right? Yeah, at least 5,000 words. That's right. Yeah. You can read B1, B2, or sometimes C1 and an American accent, but when I want to talk to someone, you're a beginner. So, Safa, then, that means that you don't have enough practice with talking. And you don't have enough practice with thinking in English. You have good confidence with your reading, but you don't have the same confidence with your speaking or your thinking. You need thinking confidence before you can have speaking confidence. If you can't think about English, how can you say it well? Right? So You need to speak. You need to think first in English, then you can speak it. Okay? So once you become comfortable with thinking, your speaking will become more comfortable. Okay? All right, SM wants to come on stage. Sure, why not? Raise your hand. You have to raise your hand. She treated me as if I were a stranger. She treated me as if I had been a stranger. Yeah, there's a slight difference between those two, but not much. Let me think about how to explain this properly. Wait a minute. Let me check one thing. What was it? Yeah. Pardon me. Dry throat. So, when you say she treated me as if I were a stranger, that's called past subjunctive. Okay? Past subjunctive form. That's where were, the word were, is talking about an unreal situation that's true in the present. Right? So at that time, she was treating me that way. Right? As if I were a stranger. But when you say as if I had been a stranger, now it's past perfect subjunctive, not just past subjunctive. So in that case, you're talking about a hypothetical situation that refers to a time before the main action. So the biggest difference is when you say she treated me as if I had been a stranger, it's kind of like you're referring to the way they treated you then and how they assumed you were at that time. But when you're talking about she treated me as if I were a stranger, using just past subjunctive, not past perfect subjunctive, you're just talking about how they treated you at that time. It's very hard to explain. It's a very subtle difference, but it's an important difference. As if I were is usually the way we would say it. That's the more standard way to say it. As if I had been a stranger is for a much more unique situation. It's a hypothetical, unreal, past completed situation. That's a very, very hypothetical. That's a very, very rare situation. Doesn't come up very often. Okay? Thank you, Larry. I'm drinking coffee. Hello, Vadim. How are you? What's the difference between assess, estimate, and appraise? Assess is to give a general view of something. Let me look at all of this and tell you what I think. That's my assessment. Okay? To estimate is usually a guess of some kind. To estimate an amount of money or to estimate an amount of time, right? So estimates are usually there's two ways to pronounce it. One is the verb and one is the noun, right? So to estimate is a verb. The estimate is a noun. So if you're buying a car and there are many taxes and fees and you say, oh, well, what's the estimate? Means about how much. About how much is this going to cost? That's the estimate cost, right? To appraise something means to look at something and determine the value, Okay, so assessments that's a general looking at something to tell you what you think. Could be good or bad, could be about value of money or value of something, right? But it's a very general term to assess something, right? To appraise is to look at something to determine usually the monetary value of something. So this car was appraised at $10,000. That's the appraisal value. That's how much they guess that it was worth, okay? Or that's how much they estimate that it's worth, okay? Understand? So an assessment is a general term for looking at something and telling you what you think about it somehow. An estimate is a guess of some kind, usually involving money or time, but could be height or could be weight, right? It's any kind of measurement that you guess based on what you know. And then an appraisal is to assess something for the value financially, money. Okay? All right, you raised your hand. Come on stage.
Hello, teacher. How are you doing?
Hello, SM. How are you?
I'm great. So I have a question about learning English. In my country, like most of the people think that grammar is a best way, grammatical rules are best way to learn English, but I don't think that in our school, college, university, everywhere they teach just grammatical rules to learn English, but I found it useless. So what do you think about that?
I think that it is both useful and useless. It depends on what your purpose in language is. So if you're just trying to learn English just to chat and talk with your friends or play video games or maybe travel, grammar is not that important. When you're playing a video game, nobody cares about your grammar. Nobody cares about that then, right? Never. No, right? Not at all, right? If you're traveling, if you say something wrong when you order coffee, probably they're not going to correct you or care. They'll understand and try to do the best they can, right? So that's one purpose. But on the other hand, maybe your purpose is to go to college or get a degree in English or to study at a university that you need English for. If you're doing that, then yeah, you need a high level of grammar because you're talking about an academic environment where that's what's required, right? So it depends on your purpose. Maybe you're getting a job and you want to get a raise or you want to get a promotion, and they need you to take an English test like the IELTS test. If you're going to take the IELTS test, you better study grammar. You got to know the answers, right? But if you're just trying to communicate, then it's not that important. So I answer people this all the time. People say, is grammar important? And my answer is, if you're in school, grammar is important. If you're taking a test, grammar is important. If you have work that uses English, like a lawyer, or a doctor, or an engineer, that you need English for that, then yeah, it's important. But if you're just at the grocery store or at the park and you're talking with your friend, is grammar that important? No. No. However, grammar is something that you will never finish.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I tell people. Grammar is like your kitchen table. You have a table in your kitchen, and every day you have to clean it.
Yeah.
You have to clean it again tomorrow, right? And you have to clean it again tomorrow. So every time you use it, you have to clean it. That's language. Language is like a table that you have to clean every day. You just have to keep working on it. So your grammar will never be finished. Your grammar will never be perfect. Nobody has perfect grammar. Even me, I make mistakes occasionally.
Yeah.
You know? So, but what you should do is you need to know what kind of English do you need. That's up to you. Yeah. That's up to you. So, but I will also tell you that when you speak well, you can't really speak that well if you don't have great grammar, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So sometimes maybe you have a great idea, but because your grammar is poor, you can't really share it very well, right?
But teacher, grammatical rules tax speaking. There is no doubt about it because I face it.
Well, that's true. Right, they do. But here's what I want you to do, is I want you to think about language is magic. Okay? And
Yeah.
here's what I mean. I want you to think about one person you know who speaks really well. And
Yeah.
any language, it doesn't matter. It could be English, it could be whatever language you want, Chinese, French, German. You just think about somebody you know who speaks really, really well. When they speak well, everyone is listening to them. Everybody pays attention to them. Everybody thinks, oh, that was good. That was smart, right? Doesn't that sound like magic to you? That's magic. That's what magic is. Like, a magical person who can tell spells is somebody who, like, I said something and it's so amazing that you have to listen. That's what words and magic are. Grammar is the magic of language. So, do you need to have great grammar to have great language? To have great language, yes, because it's like magic. Okay, so let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
If you have poor grammar, then you can only cast very low-level spells, right? Your magical spells are low-level. People pay attention to you, but only a little bit. But if you have great grammar, then you can cast high-level spells. When people hear your words, they want to listen to you. That's magical. That's grammar. So, grammar is something, I hate grammar. I don't like it either. Nobody really likes grammar. Grammar is boring. It's hard to understand. It's confusing and complex often. And sometimes it makes language not fun, right?
Yeah.
But they do that on purpose. Do you know why they do that? Why do they do that? Why do they make language hard? Why do they make it difficult to learn language?
But teacher, my opinion is when a newborn baby, he learns a language, he doesn't need grammar or teacher or something like that. You just listen.
That's true.
And learn the language.
That's true. That's true. But
my opinion.
Go ahead. Finish.
Teacher, I think that when a child learns, if a child can learn, I can learn too, because it's a natural way, and I think that grammar isn't needed before gaining the ability of speaking.
I agree. That's true. Babies don't know anything about grammar. So, in the beginning, you definitely do not need grammar in the beginning. But that's only in the beginning. And the more advanced the language becomes, the more you need to understand the rules. So, in the beginning, when language is simple, you're right. Very little grammar is needed. You don't need to know any of it in the beginning. You figure it out, right? But if you want to write a paper, an academic paper, you need grammar, my friend. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want you to understand is, I asked a question earlier. Why, in all of history, they have always made it difficult to learn how to write and read languages. Any language, but especially English. Why do they make it difficult to learn how to write and read? Why?
I don't know.
Because the people who know how to write and the people who know how to read they have all the power. If you don't know how to write, then you can't put anything down on paper. You can't make
that's right.
you can't make a statement. You can't say anything about what you believe. So that means that some people have the knowledge and can write it down. That's power. That's power. If you can't read and you can't write, you have no power. So language
Because after
is power.
death-
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, teacher. Because in the past there was no sound recorder or something like that. After passing the wise man, this knowledge of this man is dead with the man, and that's why I think that's why the system of writing has discovered.
Well,
Maybe, I don't-
yeah, it could be, maybe, but the idea is just very simple. The word grammar, the original meaning of grammar, everybody please listen. The original meaning of the word grammar, it means secret knowledge. Because I want you to remember, think about, let's say 500 years ago. 500 years ago, did everyone know how to write and read? No.
No.
No. Many people did not know how to write or read. So that means that the people who know how to write and read, that's secret knowledge. They have secret knowledge. They're like magical wizards, right? They have knowledge like magic. That's what grammar is. So grammar is something you should learn because of one reason. If you don't know grammar, then they have the power and you don't.
Yes. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's really what makes sense. So grammar, I hate it, but it's like magic. It's difficult to learn the difficult magic. It's easy to learn easy magic, but the difficult magic, that's hard, man. That's like wizards. Wizards do that. Not everybody is a wizard, right? It's not easy to be a wizard. That's not an easy thing to do. So, grammar is something that not everybody needs it, but if you have it, it gives you great power.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay? It's not useful everywhere. You don't need it all the time. But grammar is it's like having all the keys, right? What I mean is if you don't know the right words, then you can open some doors, but you can't open all the doors. But if you have the right words, you can open up all the doors.
Right.
So there are some times when if you don't have proper grammar, that door is going to get slammed in your face. Because, for example, maybe last month, some guy came on my stream. It was a kid. I think he was a kid. I think he was from India, if I remember right. And he kept calling me Unk. He kept saying, which means uncle, right? He kept, Unk is doing this. Unk, what are you talking about? Unk this, Unk that. And he kept using this very familiar, casual language. Well, guess what? I'm not your uncle. And I don't know you.
Yeah.
So it's very weird when you come to my room and you call me something like you're familiar with me when I'm not familiar with you. So guess what? I ignored him. I did not listen to him. I did not read his messages because he was not listening to me.
Yeah.
And he was using language that he thought was cool, but it wasn't the right language for this room. So that door got slammed in his face. Because you have to know what language is the right language to use at that time. Right?
Yeah.
So there are some times when I'm very loose with my language. When I'm hanging out with my friends, with my band, I'm in a bar, I don't care about grammar when I'm in a bar, right? But that's different. But now I'm teaching. Now it's different. Now I try to pay attention to
Yeah.
my language, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So grammar matters sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But if you know grammar, you have the keys that open every door.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want to go in the bar and talk with casual language, you have that key. No problem. I can open that door. I can use that language. If you want to go to talk to a professor about your idea, you need that key. You need that grammar. Okay?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, is grammar important? Yes and no. It depends on what. It depends on where you are, and it depends on in the beginning, right? And I will tell you that your English sounds pretty good. It sounds really good, okay? But don't let grammar be something that you are afraid of because it's hard. It is hard, and the same thing is true with music, right? When you learn music, you don't have to take private lessons. You don't have to learn how to read the music and know all the notes and all that. You can just learn how to play just by ear. But if you know how to read the music, you can do more. You can understand more. You can learn more. So
That's the upper level.
that's right. Yeah. So that's just like language and music are the same that way. Sure, you can learn language without knowing any of the rules, without any of the books, without any lessons. You can learn it that way. But if you learn it with the rules, you'll have more open to you. More will be understood, and you'll feel like you can do more. Okay? So it's a balance. You have to balance it a little bit with your practical ability to use the language. That's good. Work on your practical use. You have good practical use of your English. Right now, it seems like you have a very good practical ability. Good. So that means your practical English is pretty strong.
Yeah.
But I think you feel your academic English is weak.
Yeah, definitely. I hate it.
Okay. Well, we hate the things that we're not good at.
Yeah. Right.
But
I tried too hard.
I know, and that's why it's difficult. That's why not everyone does it, because it's difficult, right? So difficult things take time. You know, when you say I tried, many people say that to me. I tried, Teacher Mark. I tried. And I ask them, how many times did you try? And sometimes they say, I tried 10 times, or I tried 20 times, or 50 times. Or maybe they even say, I tried 100 times, Teacher Mark. And they think that's a lot. But what I tell them is, if you haven't tried 1,000 times, then you haven't tried. You need to know what practice really is. And if you say, I tried, but I can't do it, and I say, how many times, and you say 10 times, that's not trying. If you say, I can't ride a bicycle, and I say, well, how many times did you try? 10 times. That's not enough, man. Get on that bicycle again. Try again. You'll get it. Just keep doing it. Right? So, for example, I'm a drummer. If you see behind me the drums, right? And you know, there are some songs. If I play a song is usually about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes long. Okay? And in that one song, I will have to play a drum beat that I have to play again and again and again and again and again and again and again with perfection every single time. For 3.5 minutes, I have to play a beat, and I cannot make a mistake. You cannot do that if you have not practiced a lot.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why repetition, repeating, is something that a drummer knows. Musicians, we know about repetition. You have to do it a lot more than you think. 10 times is nothing. Okay? 10 times is nothing. You've got to do a lot more. So think about 1,000. And when I say 1,000, do I really mean that I want you to count to 1,000? That would be great, but no. What I mean is you have to practice a lot more than you think. And that if you only practice a little bit, you're only going to see a little bit of progress.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Okay? So, just do it some more. And remember that nobody becomes great if you never work on your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you always work on the things that you're already good at, you're just like, oh, you're so good. You're patting yourself on the back. You're so good. You're so good, man. You're so good. But when you work on things that are not easy, then it's hard and you feel like, I suck. I'm terrible. This is hard. But guess what? That's when you feel like you're not good, that's when you're really learning. When you feel like it's easy, you're just patting yourself on the back. You're just saying, I'm so awesome. This is so easy. This is so great. I'm so good. That's what you're doing. But if it's hard, it doesn't feel that way. But that's the real learning, when it's hard. All right? Oh no, I lost your sound.
I want.
Wait, try again. Say, what's your question one more time?
Teacher, I want you to summarize what you have said because I want to show my people that what you have said.
Okay, so to summarize, is grammar important? Grammar is important sometimes, but not all the time. If you're in school, grammar is important. If you're taking a test like the IELTS test or the TOEFL test, grammar is important. If you have a job that uses English in a business way, like a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer or something like that, then yeah, grammar is important. But if you're at the park talking to your friend, no, it's not that important. Don't worry about it. Here's why this is important. Because many people worry about their grammar. And if you worry about your grammar, now you have two problems. Grammar and worry. So worrying about your grammar means now, oh, but what if I say the wrong thing? Then you don't speak. You're worried, so you don't speak. So that's why I said I want you to work on your grammar, but I don't want you to worry about it, because if you worry about it, then you're going to be filled with fear and you won't want to practice. So don't worry about it, because guess what? Life is not a grammar test.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? That's what you can tell your friends. Life is not a grammar test. However, I also want you to remember that the word grammar means secret knowledge. It means power. Magic. It's magic. Actually, love, I'll tell you one more funny thing. The word grammar is also related to the word glamour. Do you know the word glamour?
Yeah.
What does glamorous
Beautiful,
mean?
beautiful.
Yeah, right. It means beautiful. But it means like magically beautiful. Like when you see somebody that's glamorous, it's almost like there's a magical spell on you that makes you think they're beautiful. That's what glamorous means. And the word glamour is related to the word grammar, which I told you means magic. Like your words are so powerful, they're like magic. People have to listen to you. That's why I like language, because it's powerful. When you have words that make people watch and listen to you, that's power. All right?
Teacher, after listening you, I have changed my mind, and now I'm thinking that grammar is needed, but at not the first stage of learning any languages.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
But need the second stage when I'm trying to improve, I'm trying to get the advanced level
That's right.
in that case.
Yeah, now you need it. Yeah. Now there are some doors that don't open if you don't have that grammar. Okay? All right. SM, I'm going to let you go, but it was nice to talk to you, nice to meet you, and you sound great. So just keep working on it, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care, my friend. Okay, Ace Titan, I see your problem about do and does. Wait a minute, let me see. What about... It's really actually not that difficult, okay? I do, you do, we do, they do. I do, you do, we do, they do. Okay? He does. She does. Okay? So it does, right? So that's the rule, right? It's about singular and plural. It's really a very simple question. Okay? And that's a very easy one. If you write that, ask ChatGPT to help you practice do and does. It will write some exercises for you to practice. It's very easy. You can do it. Okay? Okay. Can you text me sure about what? No, it is very easy. Come on. No, it's very easy. You just haven't practiced. If you practice, it is easy. Just go do the practice. Okay? All right. Okay. For the next... I'm only here for 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes I'm here. Okay? I've been here for an hour and 48 minutes. I'm going to be here for 10 more minutes. Okay? So, here is my next requirement. If you have a question, you can ask me. But you can only ask me questions that I have not heard before. You have to ask me a question I haven't heard before. If you ask me a question I've heard before, go watch my YouTube channel. I answer all those questions. Okay? All right, let's see. You're always afraid of making mistakes when speaking English. Don't be afraid. It's just language. Nobody really cares. If you're not making mistakes, you're not making progress. If you're trying to not make mistakes, then you are stopping yourself from making progress. When you make mistakes, you learn. So if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. So stop being shy. Start making mistakes. How can you pronounce the R in the American way? Practice the word car. And look at my mouth. It's very big. R. R. It's not a very difficult sound to make. Open your mouth very wide like a big A. Like when you see the dentist. Right? R. R. Like a dog. Is it possible to look at questions when I'm talking to SM? Sometimes, yes, but if I'm talking to somebody here, I feel it's kind of rude. If I'm talking to them and I'm trying to read questions and talk to other people at the same time. So if I have someone on my stage, when they're on my stage, I'm not really paying attention to the comments. I have to focus on talking to them. That's polite. Okay? You always don't know how to put words into sentences. Start simply. Start simply. Ace Titan, I see that you want to have a question. Ask your question. Write it. Okay? Write it, write it, write it. I already answered about do and does. I'm not going to take that question again. I said it has to be a new question. Okay? I'm sorry, Ace Titan, but guys, if you're new, hello, my name's Teacher Mark. I'm not new. I've been on Hello Talk for 12 years. I have been streaming for 5 years. I am a real teacher. I have done more than 1,200 live streams. I have done more than 2,000 hours of teaching here. Okay? I have answered all of these questions 1,000 times or more. Okay? So, follow me and ask better questions. Okay? My YouTube channel, yes. And hello, Miguel. How are you, Miguel? Here's my YouTube channel. Oh, no. Yeah, there's my YouTube channel, and here is my website, for what it's worth. And here's my blog. Okay. Okay, next question. And you also need to remember that there are 106 people here. Right now, there are 106 people asking me questions. You must be patient. How much do I weigh? I don't know. 我觉得我一点胖。我是美国人，所以胖了。Okay. What's the difference between got up and wake up? Got up is past tense. I got up. That's in the past. Get up is now. Okay? Wake up is now. Okay? Woke up would be in the past. Okay? So in China, we created the easy language called Mandarin. It's easier than the old Chinese language to eliminate ignorance. Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what that is supposed to be about. Does wined and dined necessarily mean you invited someone out to date them? No. Wined and dined is often used for business, right? Like if you have a business client, somebody is coming in and they spend a lot of money at your company, right? So every year, this company, they spend money at your company. So when they come to town, you take them out for dinner and drinks. You wine and dine them. Wining and dining is often, I think it's mostly used for business. Okay? Maybe for friends or new friends that you meet. Could be for describing a date. You know, I took her out, wined her and dined her. Sure, maybe. But in most cases, I think we often use the term wined and dined to talk about taking business clients out. Okay? You heard someone in America said it only has that meaning, but when I searched different dictionaries, yeah, it said it could mean to go to restaurants and enjoy good food and drink. Right, exactly. That's right, okay? Can I suggest a useful grammar book? Yes. Basic English Grammar by Saddleback Publishing. Okay. Please be patient. I'm trying to read all the comments. Next comment is Ace Titan. You need to calm down. I'm sorry, but I have answered far too many questions for you already. You've been here for 5 minutes and you're dominating too much. It's me. Everybody is here, please. Remember, you're not the only one in this room, okay? I know you want your answers now. Everyone does. Okay? You're not special that way. Okay? If you want real knowledge, then you'll have patience. If you don't, that's okay too. Can I give you a word that's similar to the sound of sorry? Yes. Let me think. Let me find the right ones. That's perfect for you. Sorry, starry. The starry sky. Okay? It's star-y. Sorry. That's the American way to say the word sorry. Okay? If you're Canadian, they say sorry, sorry, worry. Like, it's actually more like the word worry. Okay? Sorry, worry. It's kind of like that, I think. Worry. Anyway, it doesn't matter because I'm not Canadian. I'm an American. And we say sorry like the word starry. Okay? Okay, let's see. What's the difference between an extension cord and a power strip? An extension cord is just the cord. Hold on. Oh, here. Like this kind, okay? This is an American one, right? But this is just an extension cord. It has it has 3 plugs here, but this is not considered a power strip, right? But a power strip is, well, I'll show you. This is a power strip. A strip, it means it has many plugs. And it's usually in a row, usually, right? These are all power strips, okay? So this is a power strip, but an extension cord may only have 1 plug. It might have a few like these, right? That has 2 or 3, right? But this one is a heavy-duty extension cord. It only has 1 plug, but it's just longer, right? It's a long cable, and it's thick, heavy-duty cable sometimes, okay? All right, next question. Do I have specific hours to teach? Enzo, yes and no. Not right now, Enzo. I used to be here, or I used to tell people I'm here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was here Monday through Saturday, every day almost, except Sunday, right? But I've been doing that for a long time, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just burned out. I get burned out a lot, I think, but I don't know. I'm not sure, Enzo. If you like my teaching, you can go check out my YouTube channel, and you can watch lots and lots and lots of videos there, you know, okay? All right, next. Yes, I am a teacher. Titan, I'm sorry, but no. I feel like you need to take a break. You need to take a break, man. All right? I'm not your personal teacher. I'm here for everybody. And you are being too pushy. Okay? Samira, what is your question? I didn't see your question, Samira. What does in my heart of hearts mean? Yeah, deep in my heart. It means my real feelings, my true feelings. Okay? Americans get fat from eating hamburgers. Americans get fat because we have a lot of fat foods. We have a lot of yummy foods. That's why we get fat. Because we have a lot of yummy foods that are everywhere. Okay? If you come here, you'll get fat too. Well, I look like a guy who likes working out. I don't work out. No, I don't work out. No. Larry, I feel like I lost you. I don't know what you're asking about either, Larry. Yeah. Oh, Larry, you're talking to him. Yeah, no, Ace Titan, you're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening. I'm sorry. You need to come back another time. Next time, don't be so pushy. Okay, Ace Titan? Is today your first day watching me? It's your first day watching me, right? Ace Titan, I'm talking to you. Answer me. Is it your first day? Okay. Take a break. Come back when you have more patience. Okay? All right, next. I don't know why anyone ever thinks that's going to be a good idea to be so pushy. Okay, next question. Hello, Palacios. Hello. Thank you. Yes, I'm on Hello Talk Live now. I should include a link so the books sold can generate revenue. Yeah, Leo, I thought about that, but I don't know how to do that either. Yeah, I don't know everything. Yes, I'm in the US right now. You can download that book. Can I help you? I can't help you personally, no. That requires you to pay me. But I gave you the book. It's pretty easy. You can do it. You can ask ChatGPT to help you with that book. Now that if you found it, if you found the book and you got it, then use it and study it. You can do it, Enzo. Come on, man. People do hard things all the time, right? The 48 Laws of Power. I don't have an opinion about that book because I don't know that book. I don't usually like books like that. Any book that's talking about the 50 rules of life, or the 10 things that everyone should know, or the 5 things that you don't know, that's marketing. Anyone can do that. Anyone can write a book that says, these are 10 things that you should know. Not that helpful, to be honest with you. Okay, let's see. Why didn't I live stream last week? I didn't live stream last week for a couple of reasons. One, Larry was There's a guy named Jack DeJohnette. He was an American jazz drummer, and he was my favorite jazz drummer. He was my favorite jazz drummer of all time, and I studied his music so much, and his music was very, very important to me. And he died last week, and I felt like I wanted to take some time away from streaming and away from my phone and away from digital stuff to try to do some things that matter, like listening to good music and reading good books and studying things, So that's why I didn't do live streams last week. Why did I choose HelloTalk as a platform? Because this is a platform where most of the people here are here for learning. And I like to have an audience that's here for the same purpose. If you do a live stream on some platform like YouTube, then anyone can join, and many of those people are not really interested in what you do, and that's not really that good for you. So yeah. Do Americans really often eat fried chicken and hamburgers? Chinese people eat a lot more fried chicken than Americans do. There are more KFCs in China than there are in America. There are more KFCs in China than in America. KFC is more popular in China than in America. So Chinese people eat a lot of fried chicken. I know this for a fact, too. I mean, I lived over there, and I did eat a lot of yummy fried chicken. And hamburgers? Do we eat hamburgers? Yeah, we do. Because they're yummy, and they're easy to make, and we have so many kinds of them everywhere. So sure. Do Chinese people eat fried rice? Yeah. Do Americans eat burgers? Yeah. But guess what? Guess what? One of the if you order food in America, the number 2 food in America to order is Chinese food. American Chinese food. Right? So pizza is number 1. If you're going to order takeout, we order pizza. We love pizza. But actually, Chinese food is number 2 to order takeout. Okay? Is it semantically weird to say I wish I couldn't have done something? Yes. I wish I could have done something is normal. I wish I couldn't have done something is very strange. You're talking about a hypothetical situation that didn't happen, and you're wishing that you didn't do something. That's very strange. It's possible, but it's very strange. Okay? Let's see. Somebody told me that you got fat from just looking at you. Well, that's not nice. Okay. Muhammad, whatever it is that you are talking about is not what we are talking about. That's number 1. Whatever it is that you are talking about is politics, and that's not allowed on HelloTalk. Okay? I do know about what's happening in Sudan, okay, because I have followers from all over, all right? But that's not what we're doing here, okay, Muhammad? What's the difference between I wish and I hope? I wish... Sometimes there's no difference. Sometimes people use them to mean the same thing. But sometimes there is a small difference. I hope is what we say for things that we really want, that are real. I hope that I pass my test. I hope that I don't get a cold. I hope that things get better soon. That's real. You really want that. I wish I had $1 million. That's not real. I mean, you want it, but it's not real. It's imagined, right? So wish is often used for things that are wishes. They're not real, they're fake. They're imagined things that you really want but don't, that they're not true, right? I wish I could fly. You don't say, I hope I could fly. Okay? Yeah, I'm missing a marketing team. I'm missing a marketing team, an editing team. I'm missing a team. I don't have a team. I've always wanted a team. I don't have a team. How to say 0 o'clock in English? We don't say 0 o'clock. We say 12 o'clock. So American time, we almost always use a 12-hour clock, not a 24-hour clock. So we say it's 12 o'clock a.m. That's nighttime. That's really, really late nighttime, 12 o'clock a.m. Then we have 1 o'clock a.m., 2 o'clock a.m., 3 o'clock a.m., 4 o'clock a.m., 5 o'clock a.m. That's all early morning, late, like darkness morning, right? Then we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the morning until 12 p.m. Now we have 12 p.m., another 12. So there's 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. 12 hours of morning, 12 hours of evening. Okay, so there is no 0 o'clock. All right. You wonder about consoles like PlayStation, Xbox, are they popular in America? Yeah, of course, sure. I don't have one. I don't play video games, so I have never owned... I owned the first PlayStation. But I've never had any of the other ones. So, but they are popular, sure. Most people have them, I think. Do I remember your question about Rodia? Yeah, sure. I answered that question. Do you remember? I did answer it. Maybe you didn't hear. My answer was about her. She's, or Rodia was a him. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that if you know about the name means schism. A schism means a split. And so that character in that book is, the purpose of that character is to make you consider that difference between the haves and the have-nots. Let me think of a better way to put it. Wait a minute. Yeah, there it is. Right. So the original word means to split, okay? And so it's talking about the split between society. It's talking about the split between the haves and have-nots. That's what the purpose of that character is to make you consider that. I think that's what you're trying to understand. Thank you, Lena. You're too nice. What's the meaning of so far and its usings? So far means yet. Like, we haven't finished this so far. Or, let me think of another way. Man, I need to eat. My brain is not working. I mean, so far it could be used in a couple of other ways, but the way you're asking about is to, as of yet, we haven't. So far we haven't finished, or so far we've made good progress, or so far I've only read one chapter. It means as of yet, as of now. Okay? So far could also have a very simple meaning of this store is so far away, meaning a long distance, but that's not what you're trying to ask about, I think. Do I know why the clock has gone back an hour yesterday? Yeah, it's called daylight savings time. It's a really stupid thing that we continue to do for no good reason. There were reasons that we did it in the past. Now it's a tradition that we cannot seem to break. It's a tradition that became kind of institutionalized, and so because it became an institution, it's become, maybe that's not the best word. I think it's almost more to say it's like infrastructure. It's a word that we want to change it. Everybody hates it, but changing it means changing a lot of things that would cost a lot of money, and it's difficult to change now. So we still do it even though we hate it. But I think we don't change it because it's just difficult. Okay, next question. Can I give some tips for beginners of English? Utam. That's a hard question. Start from the beginning. Being a beginner means you must start. If you're a beginner, then you have to know what is it that you're studying. How much is there? You can't say you're a beginner if you don't know how much there is. So being a beginner means I want to study this thing. If you want to study something, you need to know how much there is to study. What do I need to know? Oh, you need to know grammar, and you need to know vocabulary, and you need to know pronunciation and phonics, and you need to learn how to read and write and listen and speak. These are the parts of language. Do you know what you need to know? You cannot learn something if you don't know what to learn. So first, when you're trying to learn anything, you must figure out, what is it that I'm learning? What are the parts of this thing? Okay? What did I do on Halloween? I didn't do much. We had candy here at the house, and kids came to get candy from the house. That was it. I didn't do anything. I'm too old and tired. Don't really care about that anymore. Milieu. That's a French word, Siraj. Milieu. It's my special milieu. Yeah, it's not a word we use very often because, again, it is actually a French word, and it means your social environment, right? It means your particular social environment. Okay? What language did I find hardest to learn? They're all hard in some way. French is really hard to pronounce. Chinese, and Japanese don't use Roman alphabet, so you have to learn a completely different alphabet. Arabic also, right? So the writing of some languages is very difficult. Reading, because you have to learn a new written form. Tonal languages like Chinese is tonal. You have to learn how to make tones. That's hard. Yeah. Do I like GTA? I have never played GTA. No. I'm not a video game guy. Not really. That's right, 12 p.m. midday, 12 p.m. midnight. Sometimes we say 12 a.m., 12 p.m., just meaning morning and night. You find English difficult to learn because it is difficult to learn. Okay, but you can do it. No, I am not from West Virginia. I'm from Ohio. Do I teach English on other platforms? Nope. YouTube. I mean, this is on YouTube also. Okay, I'm just about finished here, guys, but let me see. Do I think this sentence is weird? When the bomb will go off is anybody's guess. No, that's not that weird. I know why you think it's weird, but it just means that nobody knows when it will explode. So it's weird because they started it by saying when the bomb will go off, nobody knows or is anyone's guess. They could have said, they could have flipped it, right? And they could have said, it's anybody's guess when the bomb will go off. Both would be fine. It's weird only because it starts with the question. Okay? Is it easy for a 6-year-old kid to learn English? Or for they're guys, hello. Look at me. Please look at me. Hi. Learning is hard. Learning is hard. Just accept it. It's hard to learn. There's no changing that. So, it will be hard sometimes. You still have to do it. Okay? Just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't. Okay? Okay, yes, I am a teacher, but I am a tired teacher. I'm a teacher who needs a break. So I'm going to take a break. I'll come back tomorrow. But yeah, if you haven't followed me yet, you can follow me. Here is my YouTube. Here is my, here is my website. And here is my blog. Okay? I have been on Hello Talk for 12 years. I have been streaming on Hello Talk for 5 years. I have 84,000 followers on Hello Talk. Okay? They follow me because I teach. Okay? Hello, James. So, I need to go. I am glad that you appreciate what I do. Thank you very much. If you appreciate what I do, I appreciate tips. If you want to give me tips, you can. That would be nice. I do spend a lot of time, so it would be nice. I'll be back tomorrow. Come back and see me. Unless maybe I'm not feeling like teaching. I don't feel like teaching much anymore sometimes. I don't know. It's a hard job. But everybody's got a hard job. All right, I'll see you guys sometime. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. Bye.